Achieving fame on YouTube translates to creative liberty, financial success, and a multitude of fans eagerly anticipating your next upload. However, with every rise comes the potential for a significant fall, because on this platform, no one can remain at the pinnacle of success indefinitely. And not all YouTube downfalls hold the same weight. While certain creators experience a fall from grace and bounce back swiftly, I once developed a wallpaper app called Panels and made a plethora of missteps, leading to an outcry from the online community. And yes, that blunder rests fully on my shoulders. Others, however, vanish in an instant, their careers reduced to ruin by their own actions. Hello, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I produce weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we're delving into the 7 tiers of YouTube downfall, where it all initiates with a seemingly minor slip-up, or a harmless fib from the creator. Yet with every ascending level, it transforms into something far more sinister, until fame, fans, and the entire YouTube empire crumbles beneath the heavy burden of their inflated egos. By the conclusion of this video, you'll see that some creators lose not only their careers, but also their freedom. Nevertheless, at the initial level, the downfall is nowhere near career ending. It merely presents a small hurdle. A minor controversy that ignites brief backlash from the digital realm. Level 1, minor controversy. Nearly every creator encounters this at some stage, typically instigated when they partake in actions that contradict the values they've dedicated years to establishing. Take Airac, for example, who since he began posting regularly in 2019 has amassed billions of views. Known for his grandiose stunts like producing the world's largest pizza, splurging $100,000 on Facebook Marketplace, and breaking 100 laws in just 24 hours. A significant aspect of his allure has been his commitment to authentic content while delivering extravagant challenges. However, things took a turn when he launched his 30-day world tour series. Beginning December 1st, I'll be journeying worldwide, uploading 30 videos within 30 days. Yet, barely a week into the challenge, he was caught red-handed for faking portions of it by pre-recording videos. Fans were understandably let down. The guy boasts 15 million subscribers and is filthy rich, yet fakes his travels around the globe. I once hailed Airac as a top 5 YouTuber. The evidence is irrefutable. Viewers were dismayed as this contradicted the sincere, authentic persona he associated with his content. A similar scenario unfolded when MKBHD, the tech guru on YouTube, announced his own wallpaper app, Panels, the Internet. Promptly criticized the app for its subpar design, excessive ads, and, most alarmingly, a hefty annual fee of $50 for usage. Many condemned MKBHD for veering away from the foundational principles on which he built his fame, and for being disconnected from his audience. However, as previously mentioned, the backlash at level 1 tends to be fleeting. The criticism doesn't escalate to widespread cancellation, as most creators learn swiftly to recognize their errors, acknowledging their mistakes, making amends, and moving forward before matters spiral out of control. Thus, when MKBHD addressed the criticism surrounding his app, he didn't attempt to dodge the backlash or devise excuses. Rather, he simply clarified what went awry and outlined his plans for improvement. The response was overwhelmingly affirmative. Fans commended his transparency and modesty, transforming this into one of, if not the most applauded apology videos in YouTube history. Even when creators forego public apologies, many still find pathways to transcend the backlash by quietly altering their course. For instance, after being criticized for fabricating some of his content, Airac didn't linger on the scandal. Instead, he subtly pivoted his focus from authenticity as his core principle to producing consistently high-quality, entertaining videos. That transition proved fruitful. In recent years, Airac has continued to thrive at an astonishing rate. At this stage, a downfall isn't synonymous with destruction. It serves as a wake-up call, one that most creators manage to bounce back from. But as we venture deeper, the recovery becomes increasingly arduous. Moving into the second level, the repercussions of the creator's errors start to challenge the resilience of their reputation. Level 2, dent to reputation. This is where the aftermath begins to hit home, causing the audience to start questioning whether the creator they've stood by all this time is genuinely the person they believe them to be. The fallout might not entirely ruin a career, but it's severe enough to compel creators to initiate damage control. A prime example of this situation is Linus Tech Tips. Linus is one of the original creators on YouTube, crafting content since 2012 throughout the years. He has established an immense business empire valued at over $100 million, sustained by millions of loyal viewers. These supporters trust him and his team for impartial, honest reviews of the latest technology, but all of that came under scrutiny when another YouTube channel, Gamers Nexus, took a stand against LTT, Gamers Nexus published an investigation revealing several issues with LTT's content. These included erroneous data, misleading claims, and questionable opinions, which struck hard for a company built on expertise and accuracy. This revelation was a significant blow. Naturally, the LTT community felt betrayed by what they perceived as unprofessional and careless conduct. In response, Linus and his team put out a 20-minute apology video with several community members admitting their errors and vowing major internal reforms. However, the community's reaction was mixed. While some viewers valued the transparency, others remained skeptical, questioning whether the company had strayed from the principles that initially established their credibility. Yet at this level, the repercussions don't always stem from the audience. Occasionally, a creator's behavior transcends public opinion, shaking the trust of the brands and sponsors that sustain their channels. Take PewDiePie, for instance. At the peak of his career in 2017, he encountered a colossal backlash after making an anti-Semitic joke in one video and subsequently using the N-word during a live stream. While the initial online outrage was intense, Felix managed to defuse the situation fairly quickly by addressing it and offering a public apology. I let slip the worst word I could possibly think of, and there are really no excuses for it. I genuinely apologize if I've offended, hurt, or disappointed anyone with my actions. Being in my position, I should have known better. Yet, regaining favor with his audience was insufficient. Numerous major sponsors, including Disney, severed ties with him nearly overnight. Even so, both PewDiePie and Linus Tech Tips were able to recover over time. By owning up to their mistakes and demonstrating consistent responsibility, they gradually regained the trust of their audiences and partners. Because at this tier, redemption is still possible. The damage feels severe in the heat of the moment, but it's often fleeting. For creators who embrace accountability, a setback becomes just another chapter in their ongoing narrative. However, beyond this threshold, redemption becomes quite elusive. Level 3 drama and exposure at this stage, the consequences dig much deeper. The creator's actions instigate full-blown controversies, captivating commentary channels and major news outlets, and even after the dust settles, their reputation rarely recuperates fully. In essence, the creator's identity becomes inexorably linked to the controversy itself. Sniper Wolf fits this description. In 2023, she became embroiled in a significant scandal after being accused of appropriating content under the guise of reaction videos. Much of this backlash stemmed from YouTuber Jax Films, who produced several videos condemning her for breaching fair use laws and profiting from stolen content without crediting the original creators. At that time, Sniper Wolf stood among YouTube's top creators, boasting over 30 million subscribers, making the scandal impossible to overlook. However, rather than alleviating the situation, Sniper Wolf's response only escalated matters. In a petty act of revenge, she doxed Jack's home address to her millions of Instagram followers. Boasting over 30 million subscribers, the controversy became utterly unavoidable. However, rather than calming the situation, Sniper Wolf's reaction only escalated matters into a perilous realm. In a spiteful bid for retribution, she revealed Jack's home address to her vast Instagram audience. "Hey, right outside your place, come on out and chat with me. He's got food waiting, so he should be stepping out any minute to grab it. It's ice cream too, can't forget that. I just want to have a conversation, but Jack and his wife's safety is now at serious risk, and of course this reckless behavior sparked a massive controversy overnight. YouTubers across the board condemned her actions, with many outright calling for her removal from the platform. There's no justification for her to still be allowed to operate. YouTube should truly be impartial in this situation and terminate her channel, or at the very least enforce heavy restrictions or a strong punishment. Ultimately, YouTube let the incident slip away without serious repercussions. They only imposed a relatively minor penalty of temporary demonetization, but the harm done was irreversible. It utterly wrecked her image. Now, her name is synonymous with everything that's wrong in reaction content. To this day, she's best remembered for stealing content and the doxing scandal rather than her other contributions on the platform. However, a downfall like this doesn't merely stem from one explosive incident. Often, it's a long-standing pattern of egregious behavior combined with a refusal to learn, evolve, or take accountability that gradually tarnishes their reputation. And nobody illustrates this better than Logan Paul. His career has been marred by a long series of controversies and scandals, but the first and arguably the worst occurred in late 2017. That was when he uploaded a video filmed in Japan's notorious forest, also known as the Suicide Forest. In the vlog, Logan and his crew recorded the body of a man who had chosen to end his life there, all while laughing at the tragedy with an outrageous lack of empathy. The video blew up for all the wrong reasons, triggering worldwide outrage and temporarily severing YouTube's ties to him. Yet, as disturbing as it was, had Logan genuinely reflected on the incident and amended his ways, a recovery could have been possible. Instead, his career spiraled into a loop of reckless choices. Each reckless decision overshadowed any progress he made towards redemption. Over the years, Logan has faced accusations ranging from animal abuse to scamming his own followers through dubious crypto schemes. And while, like Sniper Wolf, he still rakes in hundreds of thousands of views, his public persona is forever tainted, leaving him widely regarded as one of the most toxic creators on the platform. But as we enter the next phase, audience patience finally wears thin, and even the most loyal supporters start to drift away. This fifth level signifies a complete collapse of credibility. At this stage, the fallout extends far beyond mere reputation. This is when a creator's decline becomes disgraceful. As the audience loses all trust, even the staunchest fans abandon ship. This level includes early YouTube icons like FuzzyTube and Kid Behind a Camera, who are now commemorated merely as cautionary tales of self-destruction. However, Level 4 downfalls are not instantaneous. They stem from long-term manipulation where a creator perpetually deceives their audience, draining their loyalty for views, money, or status, until there's nothing left. Boogie 2988 is one of the starkest examples of this gradual decline. By late 2000, his fans had begun to lose their patience with his endless fibs about his personal life, along with a series of tone-deaf jokes that steadily chipped away at his nice guy image. Then came the September 2020 incident, where he threatened fellow YouTuber Frank Hassel with a firearm, which served as another instance of his reckless and arrogant attitude. Things only escalated with the release of the documentary The Dark Sad Life of Boogie 2988. This film unveiled his misogynistic outlook, his tendencies to hire escorts, and a complete lack of accountability for his behavior. These discoveries obliterated the humble and wholesome persona he once projected. He's the real-life Bojack, a self-destructive, self-centered, broken individual who drags everyone around him down and resists any form of improvement. Boogie epitomizes the mindset that his life is tough, and he's unwilling to change, continuously asking for sympathy. The ultimate nail in the coffin came when streamer Destiny publicly exposed Boogie for falsely claiming he had a rare blood cancer. Boogie 2004. Destiny took to public platforms to unveil Boogie's deception about suffering from a rare blood cancer. Boogie 24. You're facing the music tonight, and I'm practically convinced you're embroiled in this mess. You're faking your cancer diagnosis! Boogie has exploited this grotesque lie for years, manipulating fans for sympathy and financial aid. And once the truth was revealed, any shred of trust the audience had in him completely evaporated. He's been hemorrhaging subscribers ever since. The few fans left are merely there to mock him. That said, not every downfall of this magnitude stems from greed or desperation. Sometimes it's the ego and the sinister abuse of power that send a creator crashing down. Jeffree Star was once a titan of the beauty world. At his peak, he sold out entire makeup lines in mere minutes, constructing an empire seemingly shielded from controversy. However, that facade eventually began to shatter. In the late 2010s, numerous associates started to unveil his manipulative, arrogant antics behind the scenes. While those allegations might not have been sufficient to topple Jeffree's colossal career on their own, his incessant involvement in one drama after another gradually exhausted his fanbase's patience. The mask completely came off during the notorious 2020 Business Insider investigation. This report laid bare a long history of repugnant behavior, accusing him of racism, physical abuse, assault, and more. Ultimately, this shattered the illusion of his invulnerable career for good. But we're about to dive even deeper. Welcome to a darker, more depraved level, Level 5. At this juncture, it's not just the audience that cuts ties with the creator. The entire internet unifies against them, leading to lifelong consequences. Level 5 downfalls necessitate something far more sinister than egotistical conflicts or manipulatory actions. Typically, they're provoked when a creator faces accusations of something profoundly disturbing, equipped with undeniable evidence that leaves zero room for justifications. For instance, in 2023, several former fans accused Colleen Ballinger of predatory behavior towards them while they were still minors. At the time, Colleen had over 8 million subscribers, most of whom were children. So, naturally, as soon as these grave allegations emerged, they spread like wildfire, causing her 2-decade-long online empire to crumble almost instantly. Sponsors severed ties, tours were axed, and creators throughout the platform made it clear they wanted nothing to do with her. She made one last frantic effort to salvage her career with her tone-deaf ukulele apology video. Not a single person bought the line, "I'm just a loser who didn't understand I shouldn't respond to fake." And it didn't take long for this to become a meme, solidifying her humiliation. Colleen's downfall is etched in infamy as one of the most embarrassing in YouTube history, and it's not just creators like her. Even those perched at the pinnacle of the platform aren't shielded. All of that changed for Chris Tyson, now known as Ava Tyson, who was a central figure in the MrBeast empire until mid-2024. They appeared in countless episodes on the world's largest YouTube channel, but none of it protected them from the aftermath of a slew of grooming and predatory allegations against minor fans. By June 2024, as soon as evidence emerged online, it took less than a week for their entire career to implode. Their apology only fueled the outrage further, with thousands demanding their imprisonment. MrBeast publicly severed ties, and Ava vanished from the online world altogether. But while Ava opted for silence, creators at the next level don't even get that option. Welcome to Level 6 deplatforming. Level 6 encompasses those who brand themselves on shock value. They'll say or do anything for attention, even if that attention is hate. In this way, these creators march toward their inevitable destruction, and the list includes names like Master Oogway, also known as Omasystem, whose entire career thrived on provoking disgust. Initially, he garnered views by using low-effort stolen videos that exploited the work of others. But when that approach hit a wall, he pivoted to controversy, diving into the most disgraceful actions imaginable, even resorting to racial slurs. So I'm about to drop a truth bomb for the first time ever. Properly releasing a track that glamorizes Adolf Hitler, Kung Fu Panda. Adolf Hitler is my... And he's even been accused of taking advantage of the ongoing struggles of Palestinians just to rake in views and followers. Eventually, YouTube had enough, and on June 22nd, 2024, Sassim's channel was banned for good due to hate speech. And every time he's attempted to make a comeback under a new alias, he's been immediately axed. But when creators reach this point, the havoc they wreak doesn't linger online for long, and the repercussions of their actions start bleeding into their real lives. Take J-Station as a case in point. He became notorious for getting arrested for trespassing, fabricating paranormal events, and clickbaiting the deaths of celebrities like XXXTentacion and YouTuber Airac, but his most twisted stunt came in 2020 when he pretended his girlfriend had died. Claiming she'd met her end in a car crash. Last night we lost Alexia to a drunk driver, guys. So when some ordinary gamers blew the whistle on this shameless ploy for internet fame, the fallout exceeded anything Jason could have imagined. Not only was his channel permanently erased, but he also found himself in handcuffs and charged with assaulting his girlfriend, and that's how clout chasers like him transform their desire for attention into a self-imposed disaster. But at this level, a disaster means torching every bridge, both online and offline, because once you're labeled as the person who produces Nazi tracks, or fakes the deaths of loved ones for views, there's no comeback, no salvation, and no ordinary life waiting for you on the other side. And for some, even getting booted from the internet would seem like a mild consequence. Level 7 means total life ruin. The 7th level brings the downfall to its bleakest depth. Here, the line blurs between a YouTube downfall and a criminal conviction. Vanishing. And when a creator hits this stage, there's absolutely nothing left to reclaim. Their career is over for good. They're left with no source of income, their personal life shattered, and they are exactly where they deserve to be. Behind bars. The latest case illustrating this is Vitaly, a YouTuber prankster who gained fame by crashing fields during some of the globe's biggest sporting events. And despite numerous encounters with the law over the years, Vitaly never seemed to wise up as his stunts became increasingly desperate for attention. But in March 25, after announcing his relocation to the Philippines to kick off a new chapter as a travel vlogger, his past finally caught up to him. Within days of his arrival, he morphed into a public nuisance, harassing locals, aggravating security guards, disrupting businesses, and even swiping items from local shops. The Philippine government would not stand for his disrespect toward their citizens, and on April 2nd, Vitaly was apprehended. And while he'd faced legal issues plenty of times before, this time there was no escape via a fine or a public apology. The government slapped him with multiple serious charges, including vandalism, unjust vexation, burglary, theft, and unauthorized filming. And according to reports, if he's found guilty on all counts, Vitaly could face up to 24 years in prison in a country notorious for having some of the